I asked on Reddit recently about how I would use sends to different buses for multi-track recordings, or how to use buses appropriately in general. And here's how I do it. So I multi-track these guitar recordings, and these are actually both the same riff um, with the same settings currently. So I want to keep the same settings from there, but I want a couple different options depending on the track. So I'm going to send this to a bus so I can have all the settings exactly the same here. So I'm going to hit send. We're going to send this to, let's say, bus 1. And we're going to do the same thing for the other one. So both of these are being sent to the same bus right now. And by default, the buses, when you create them, are turned all the way down. You can see that negative infinity volume on there, which means you can't hear it. So I just crank that all the way up to 0 or thereabouts. And now we can hear that bus. And instead of having the output go to standard out here, I change the output to bus 1. So all of the audio on this one, and this is optional, if you want some of the, half the audio sent to the bus for effects and half of it as a dry signal, you can do that. But um, just for here, I'm sending all of the output to this bus so we can hear. But if I turn this bus down, you won't be able to hear it anymore. So you can see these bars are still going, showing that something's playing, but you're not hearing it because the bus is all the way down. So now I can drag all of these settings to that bus and get rid of them over here. Just turn all these off. And you can hear nothing has changed. But on this verse riff, I want to set a phaser on there. So I'm going to set a phaser on the original track. And you can hear that only impacts that first track, just the one. It doesn't impact the other riff. But if I turn that off and we slap a phaser onto the bus, mind you, this is on the bus, not on the individual tracks, and the phaser on the individual track is turned off. So you can hear, because I've sent that to that bus and all the audio is being routed into that bus, anything I change on the bus impacts both of those guitar tracks. But I can turn on an effect just for the track, and it will impact just that one track. That's how I would use that. Make sure that the sends are turned up so that you can actually hear them. You will be able to hear this during recording. You can hear it during playback. You can hear it when you output the file. But make sure those sends are turned up, because by default, for some reason, they're turned down to negative infinity. So that's how I use buses in Logic. I do the same thing for my vocals. If I have multiple tracks that I want to be treated all exactly the same, then I only have to change the settings in one place.